Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is we have got a big one today. We have got something that I did not expect to see on my FYP this week. We got some like French patisserie drama that's to do with this food reviewer slash influencer who essentially blackmailed them to be able to get, free food.
God damn, someone finally stood up to me. You know what? I gotta say, fucking kudos, for real. I respect that.
But we're going to get into it. She's since deleted all her videos and she has been shunned off the app. We even have Keith Lee. The Keith Lee has even come on and made a statement regarding how important it is to do good, honest reviews and how people like this are sort of letting the whole team down. So I won't lie, watching all these videos did make me extremely hungry because their baked goods, oh my god, the patisserie it looks so good. If you are in the Arizona state and you fancy getting some French artisan patisserie, then yeah, you should definitely go to this place. The place is called JL Patisserie. It's run by this woman called Jenna LeQuinn. I'm fairly sure that's how you pronounce her surname. She does amazing looking things. She's got a real good team on her hands. I would absolutely love some of that. But basically what happened was there was this girl called Glamorama. She was saying some not very good things about this patisserie. It was really expensive for cheap ingredients. She was complaining about the quiche. She was complaining about the coffee being really sour. She didn't have a lot of good things to say. She said that one thing was good, but she didn't vibe with it. She also said that the pistachio filling was as fake as her ass, boobs, and waistline. Something a bit like that.
People, I do not mind spending $10 on a pastry if they are really good, but you cannot use fake ass ingredients. That pistachio color is about as natural as my boobs, ass, and waistline. The coffee was super sour and acidic, but I prefer a creamy chocolatey espresso. $5 for a canali. I didn't even pay that in Santro fucking Pay, but that's the price next to the Phoenix airport. Okay. I was also super disappointed in the quiche. I prefer a quiche with a thick, rich, buttery crust. This had a paper thin crust. If I wanted to ingest this much eggs, I would have eaten an omelet. I absolutely loved the pumpkin pie croissant, but everything was a little on the sweet and rich side, which some people love. Personally, I like my sweets a little less sweet, so I'd rather get treated like shit and go to Paris Baguette. Now, with all of that being said, I think if you stay away from the expensive ingredients like these nuts, you can definitely enjoy a delicious, rich pastry here.
I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I know you shouldn't, but I don't see how what she was saying correlates to anything I was seeing on the screen. And I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover because I have been won over by the look of something because someone else has been raving about it, or I see it advertised and I'm like, wow, that looks amazing. You actually go to Jenna's page on TikTok, you can very clearly see it looks pretty good. And they do also have quite a few followers. They had quite a few followers even before this whole mess happened. But the juicy part in this, because we are getting to the juicy part, Jenna actually responds. Jenna responds, and what she says was that Glamorama essentially blackmailed her, or else they wouldn't get a good review.
to my art.
You can tell that when someone responds this promptly, can actually back up what they're saying. You can tell she has such a big heart for what she does, and the team does as well. Like, you can just tell that what she's doing with her patisserie is it. You can just tell that what she does for her business is from the absolute heart. Do you know? I believe her. I also absolutely love panettone, and I know that I'm not pronouncing it 100%, but I live for that shit. I love panettone. Pretty much most people in my family do not like it, and so they then they basically give all their little mini ones that they get for Christmas for me. Anyway, beyond the point, I collect them and I make bread and butter pudding out of them if you get the chocolate ones. So good. So we've now got on this idea that this Glamorama person has been kind of doing this for the restaurants as well. I believe that Jenna had actually thrown up a clip, a little thing of her saying that the restaurants don't like her. She's insinuating that she thinks that she is above everyone else, but the fact that she's paid more by that little screenshot that we saw. Now, she comes back on, and I don't even know. I don't even know how much comment I really have on it, to be honest, because she just sounded like she looked like a deer caught in headlights, but she was trying to brush it off as she was unbothered, but you could just tell that she was.
What I don't respect are the lies. So, here are the receipts. You want the truth, you can't handle the truth. I never said that I would leave a good review for a free meal. I have never done that, and I will never do that. So I think it's a bit of a stretch to say that I was bullying you. You have way more followers than I do. You are way cooler than I am. I will admit that. Like, I would love to have the online presence that you do. So if anything, you're kind of punching down. My video got what, like 7,400, I think, maybe 12,000, 13,000 on Instagram. It didn't do great. I also said nice things in that video. I actually do think if you stay away from the nuts, if you're like me that don't like that fake pistachio flavor, I still have one of your other pastries here. Well, this one was a pistachio, so it hasn't been eaten yet. But the pumpkin one that I loved and raved about, I'm not exaggerating. I ate it about 2 hours ago, and I will say it's been frozen for days since Saturday. Pulled it out after about 30 minutes. It was still phenomenal, and I'll stand by that. We also didn't get free drinks. We did get a free shot of espresso, which was so nice. Like, the French man that works there, he was the sweetest man ever. I said I liked my coffee strong. He sent out a free shot of espresso. That was so, so nice. Regardless, Jenna, I respect your balls. I do respect your talent. It may not be always my taste, but I do respect your talent. I think you make beautiful pastries. I'd work on that quiche, though. And I hope both your sides of your pillow are cold at night, and I do wish you nothing but the best.
In the screenshots that she shares, okay, here's Glamorama asking, hello, many friends have highly recommended your pastries. They look amazing. I saw the pumpkin one on TikTok. I was hoping to come and do a real Saturday or Sunday. Would you be interested in a collab? Thank you. And then Jenna says, hi, thanks for thinking of us. Unfortunately, right now, we have no budget at all to spare, so we wouldn't be able to do a paid partnership with you. Hope you understand. Thank you. Also, key interest to note is that Jenna did say that pretty much all of their money goes back into their ingredients and things. She's saying that she has a lot of Italian products, she'll have to import them, and she's going to get like the real deal, the real nice stuff. Obviously, that's going to cost a lot of money, and she does touch upon that. So she's basically reinvesting back into the business instead of using shortcuts, which I do give her kudos for that, obviously. Instead of backing down, Glamorama then decides to just poke a little bit more. So she says, hi, thank you for your response. I'm not sure if you're familiar with my page, but I do honest reviews. I do not charge for my content. When it's a collab, I will still do the honest review and highlight / focus on what I enjoyed and be softer, quicker on my words with what I may not like as much. Okay, so as long as it's a collab, then she will be nice, is what she's trying to say. But if it's not a collab, she won't be nice. If the experience is terrible, I won't post anything for the kindness of the hospitality. Interesting. The meal will need to be comped, including the gratuity. If this all looks like something you would be interested in, let me know, thank you. Okay, so basically, because Jenna didn't give her the free food, she went, nah, I'm going to do a really bad review. Which is really interesting because if they had given her food for free, then she would have done a nice review. And if the food wasn't that great, she wouldn't have done the review at all. So basically, her whole entire page was a lie. The whole page was a lie. What do you mean if you don't have a good time from the kindness of my heart and for the business, I won't post it? But that's not being honest, is it? Also, you can say you don't like something and be nice about it. I feel that nowadays people just can't seem to get the grasp of you can say things in a nice way. If you don't like something, you can still say you don't like it, but be respectful. Because it wasn't a collab. She's just going, nah, right, you wouldn't take up my offer, you wouldn't give me a free meal, so I'm just gonna shit all over your business. That's really mean, and I reckon she's been doing this for a little while. Because in the comment that Jenna was sharing, she said, businesses hate to see me come in, and it's like, businesses would only hate to see you coming if you demanded free food and they didn't give it to you. You're just literally calling yourself out, and then the cheek to turn around and be like, I don't appreciate you lying. No, because you can't even read your own text back properly, because that is blackmailing. Anyway, so she has since deleted all of her videos, and she sure did. The only thing that she left up was this long post. So let's read it together, and I will not interrupt. You can sit back and you can even put a little eye mask on, and I'm just going to read it to you and comment at the end. Hey everyone, first and foremost, I want to address the fake ass ingredients comment. When I tasted the pistachio pastry, I noticed a strong pistachio flavour that reminded me of extract or flavouring, so I assumed that is what was used to enhance the taste. Maybe it was added, maybe it wasn't, but I want to be clear, they do use real ingredients as well, and I should have been more thoughtful with my wording. I also want to clarify something really important. My review was not revenge for being turned down for a collaboration. I had already planned to visit and review the bakery regardless, paid or not. But I understand with how things unfolded, it might have looked like I did it out of spite. That is not who I am, and that was never my intention. For those who have followed me for a while, you know I always give honest reviews, good or bad. But I also understand now that honesty without compassion can come across the wrong way. When the collaboration didn't work out, I completely respected that and went in as a regular paying customer. My goal was still to give an honest review, but I see how that message, followed by a negative video, made it seem like I only wanted free food or felt entitled, and that's not true. That was never my mindset, and I truly regret that it came across that way. To the bakery, I'm sincerely sorry for any harm my words may have caused. I respect the time, effort, and heart that goes into running a small business, and I genuinely wish you nothing but success moving forward. At the end of the day, we're all human. Sometimes we mess up publicly, and all we can do is take accountability, learn, and grow from it. Thank you to everyone who's reached out with kindness, and even to those who have held me accountable. I hear you, and I'm using this as an opportunity to grow and do better. Yeah, but I like the fact that she hasn't addressed the text, because she's still banging on about I give honest reviews, good or bad. Yeah, actually, that's not true, is it? That's not what you said in the texty text. That's not true. I don't believe it. Well, the thing is that whatever. She's gone. She gone. So makes no difference. But also she's saying sorry for making a business suffer. No, I've seen so many TikToks of people going in there now. To the patisserie, and not just that, but there's keys coming out the door. Like, Jenna's just fine. I would not have thought that pastry was bad. I took one look at Jenna's page. I knew that pistachio was real. I just knew it. I knew it. Right, I know. I have that vibe. I take that vibe in. You can't go off vibes, and you can't go off look of the book of the cover. But I think she's a good egg. Do you know? I think that business is a good egg, and that's just my own personal opinion. It got so big that Keith Lee, the food reviewer, and he made a TikTok talking about this whole situation and saying, if I'm in the Arizona area, I'll definitely pop in and give an honest review, and was talking about how important it is to be able to give an honest review. So I will insert that right here.
I think it's a conversation to be had here, and I think it's very important. So let's talk about it. First, I want to say I commend the chef for her response. Not only was it respectful, it was insightful. It taught me a lot as somebody who do food reviews, because I love seeing the behind the scenes of what goes into making art, and I think making food is art. And I'm not saying none of this is a dog pile, because if you know me, you know I don't do the bullying, I don't do the dog piling, I don't do none of that. But I think it's accountability that should be taken. When I say accountability, I mean on behalf of the food reviewer. Not because she was honest and because she said she didn't like the food. I think when you start allowing money to dictate what your opinion is, or to dictate or sway anything that has to do with your opinion, I think that's when you're wrong. And I know it may be like, oh, you successful. It's easy for you to say that. I've been honest since I was on a Paw Patrol chair and I was on food stamps and I was sitting at the little breakaway table or little pull down table that my daughter had. So I'm speaking from experience. I think it's a lot of value in what it is that we do. But I think the reason why we get paid on social media is to be authentic and to be ourselves and to be honest no matter what. And I know a lot of people don't share that same sentiment, but I'm just speaking for myself. And I think it's important to not only say that, but actually put your money where your mouth is. And in my case, I'm blessed enough to say that we just sent 40 people to the state fair. And I specifically said people and not creators, because it was people who had 40 followers. It was people who had 1,000 followers. It was all the way up to 200,000 followers. But it was people who just love food. And with that being said, we coming out paternity leave very soon. And I'm not saying I'm going to this restaurant. I'm saying is that I love pastries and I'm a bread connoisseur. So if I am invited, I would love to come and get my honest opinion. Because to me, everything looked amazing. But I would love to come see for myself. And as always, I appreciate y'all. God bless you. Have an amazing day. I'll be safe.
And just be wary of some of these food reviewers, you know. I mean, be wary of anyone on the internet. Anyone. You can even side-eye me a little bit if you desperately want to. But no, just be wary of anyone on the internet, because you just never know. You just never know if they're being honest or not. You just don't know. But anyway, I hope this is a learning lesson for her. I hope maybe she can try and not harass restaurants and bakeries and patisseries for free food. That would be fabulous. That's not what we want over here. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. Actually, I hope everyone is having a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. It's actually getting cold now. I've started lighting my fire in the evening and putting on the heating because it is that cold. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.